Hiya. I'm going to talk about the positive benefits of having the scoliosis fusion surgery. Now, I can only talk for myself really, but from, obviously from everything I've heard from other people, it's completely different depending on, your body type and structure, and the way the curve was formed in the first place is going to be a big factor into whether the surgery is going to benefit you more or not as much, possibly. But yeah, only just to speak from my own experience, the surgery seemed to benefit me to start with in that it made me aesthetically look a lot better. so obviously it I didn't really like the way I looked. I didn't have a big hunchback, but I was very geeky, and you can sort of see my photos. I just didn't like the way I looked, my face, body, like a lot of it. But after the surgery, after I'd healed up, I'd probably say about a year after, I looked so much different. I was like, wow. And I went on to do a professional dance career, and I feel like I know deep down, even though I was good at dancing, just as good, before the surgery, if maybe, I don't know if I was better after or before, but yeah, I totally think that the way I looked played a part in me having the dance career, because you go to lots of auditions, and as long as you can, everyone can do the steps but it's usually on what you look like as to whether you get a job or not. So I think that the biggest benefits for me was that initially, I was in no pain before the surgery, and I was in no pain after, to start with. So I didn't really think about pain. I was young. I just got on with life. And yeah, for me, it was looking better aesthetically, and I was able to have a dance career, which I don't think I would have been, looking the way I was before. And my curve was 55 degrees, so it was sort of quite borderline. I had the surgery when I was 16, so it could have kind of gone either way, really. And I didn't, at the time, we didn't have internet, I didn't know any exercises to try and help it or anything, so yeah, we didn't really know either way. But I also feel like because the spine is straighter, because of the surgery, then I probably could have achieved, like with exercises, it's achieved a lot quicker what I could have possibly achieved in, many years. I found myself in tune with sort of greater channels of creativity I've had. I was quite creatively blocked, although I've always felt like I'm quite naturally, like I love music and art and things, but definitely having the surgery has given me more creativity and more spiritual connection and more sensitivity and perception, because I obviously I'd become very skewed over and lost a lot of proprioceptive connection to my body, but I got that instant, alignment of my head over my body more. So I did, get more perception, and other positives, going through all that pain and trauma and healing and all, the life experience, the greater respect for people who get really injured and damaged and have to go through these things and survive. And so I guess a greater respect and care and empathy for people, because I wasn't really suffering before I had the surgery at all, ever. So yeah, overall they corrected me faster. I had that greater alignment and perception, and aesthetically looked better. So yeah, there could have been a lot more positives for longer term if I'd been given any physio or advice or any follow-up after I had the surgery. But because I wasn't given any advice or direction on how to you know, had to go ahead. Unfortunately, in the next video, you're going to hear about, you know, the negatives from the surgery. But yeah, it could have been a lot better than it was for me. And yeah, it could have achieved a correct... Oh, and another positive, actually, I've realised is that the way that they corrected me in the surgery has actually enabled me to connect to the root cause of my scoliosis better. Because I actually spoke to this with another therapist who's noticed that when they do the fusion surgery, they actually take you, you know, as far as you can go. You know, they can't correct it fully, but they're actually taking you to the root of it. And the root of mine is related to my birth. And if I'd have had to, you know, do yoga and meditate and try and connect to the root of that cause without having had the surgery, it might have been hard for me to proprioceptive and to get that deep inside, especially with all the, you know, the compressive forces and the gravity, you know, fighting at me. It would have taken a long time, but having the surgery has just sort of put me in that position and highlighted that fact for me, like instantaneously. I'm like, oh, okay, so this is the root sort of compression and tension pull that's started the scoliosis. So obviously now the rods are there, you know, I'm stuck at that root bit. I can't either correct it any further, or I can't, whether it's possible to correct it further or not, you know, who knows. But another thing that has occurred to me, a thought, is that because I have the rods holding me up, when I do any work on myself with physical therapy, I am also being held up the whole time. So I'm not going to fall or collapse or get like an over compression when I can't keep myself lifted up. So that's another thought of a positive about the surgery. That's all I can think of at the moment. But if I think of any other positive benefits, I will add them to the video. Hope that perspective can help anyone if they're deciding whether to have the surgery or not. Thanks.